ABCD!
Hello, happy campers. I'm Spike.
Oh, Chris.
And we are Geekin Out.
Oh, yeah, we're just a bunch of nerds.
Sniff. It's the most wonderful time of the year where my sinuses decide that they're just going to go on strike and just march up and down my head. Although apparently the SAG-AFTRA strike is finally over.
Yes.
So now we get all the crappy projects we didn't want to see. Yes. So. And one of my predictions came true again, and we've got all kinds of newsy type stuff to talk about, including a movie we're not going to be reviewing because, quite frankly, we don't want to. So hang in there. Geeking Out rolls on. One of my predictions came true. It seemed like not that long ago. Remember me mentioning the TV series Moonlighting and how nobody had it and I haven't seen it in ages? Or am I just doing this in my head again?
I do not remember us having this conversation, but we may have. I just don't remember it.
I figured it would. I think we were discussing Disney Plus and Hulu and the confusion between them, and I said most likely, I think I just tossed it in there saying that Moonlighting would turn up probably on Hulu. Moonlighting has turned up on Hulu, along with several other shows. So Moonlighting, for the first time since the 80s, will be seen because it never really got syndicated very long either. It may have gone a year in syndication.
Stop me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
That's the one with Bruce Willis, right?
Yes. Okay. And Sybil Shepherd, yes.
Okay.
So, whether I liked it 35 years ago, whether I'd like it today, is anybody's business. But that's the one where you had the witty banter.
Wiki banter.
Witty banter. Wittier than mine. Anyway.
Doesn't take much.
Don't take much. I'll admit that, because I am a man. So, yeah, I called that one, and it actually didn't take that long. It turned up on Hulu, I think, at the beginning of November. And there's several others that turned up at the same time. And I can't tell you any of them because I don't watch Hulu. And I'm not going to watch Hulu just so I can see these. So I can see these shows. I'm tempted to do it just to see Moonlighting, but I'm not that tempted because most of the stuff on Hulu is direct. So,
Plus, you'll be paying out a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping maybe it'll come out on DVD sometime, or more than likely turn up on one of the free streaming services in a year or so. I can wait a year to see it. I waited 35 years. I can wait a 36th. So, speaking of things I haven't seen and will not see, the Marvels came out this weekend and promptly crapped all over everything. Started at number one because it's the big new movie, so of course it's going to be number one. Five Nights at Freddy's getting $9 million in its second weekend estimated, and I think this one's estimating somewhere between $45 and $50 million, which is going to beat Ant-Man for lowest first weekend. Oosh. Well, if you're going to realize a loss, might as well go ahead and realize it now. And every dollar some fool spends on watching the Marvels this weekend is a dollar that Disney will not have to pay back with interest to a loan shark 20 years from now.
True.
That is true. And now to show you how my brain does not work, what was the third thing I mentioned? I mentioned three things at the start of the show. I cannot remember the third. I'm going to have to start taking notes. Oh, well. So, Chris, what's happening in the news? What's up? What it is? What's going on?
Oh, well, in the news today.
In the news stuff. Nothing will make me think of it faster than Chris trying to do the news.
We're going to get a little political stupid.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the strike finally ended. The SAG-AFTRA strike.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's talk about that.
Before we start into more political stupid stuff, we talked about it last week on Geekin Out. If the A-listers were what was happening, you talk about above the line and below the line. Okay, the title of your movie is the line. Look at the movie poster. If your actor's name is over the title, then you're above the line. Otherwise, you're under the line. The above the line people are the ones who are the big movers and shakers, but the vast majority of people who belong to SAG-AFTRA are below the line. And SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher, the nanny, was the one who was squeaking and screeching that she wanted $1 for every streaming service subscriber a month to go to SAG-AFTRA so they can give it to the people they like, and the studios told them go pound sand. I don't know the details, but I know that the strike is over. They've come to some kind of agreement, because if it kept going, the B-listers were probably going to start crossing picket lines because they needed to work and become the new A-listers. It's happened before. So, what do you know about do you know any of the details on this, Chris?
I do not know the details.
Good, because I don't either, and I don't care.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody cares about SAG-AFTRA anymore. Nobody cared about the WGA. Nobody cared about any of the other unions that went on strike. But the long year of no more woke movies to deal with is over. So, especially with the Marvels coming out. But, so what do we got? What's politically stupid things we got going on?
Dwayne Johnson he says he's been approached by certain parties to run for president of the United States.
I smell what The Rock is cooking, and it's probably meth.
I like that. That was good. That was good.
Rocky. Dwayne boy. No. Nobody really wants you to be president, honey. Okay, the WWE might have you back for WrestleMania 39, but trust me, honey, nobody wants you to be president. Okay? Would you be superior to Joe Biden? Of course you would. I've got toenails that would do a better job of being president than Joe Biden. The only person in America less qualified than Joe Biden is Kamala Harris. So,
Hillary.
More qualified. At least she would be able to walk somewhere under her own power without bumping into a backdrop somewhere. I mean, Trump's only a couple of years younger than him, and he's still hard charging all over the place. Of course, once all those Red Bulls wear off, then he might be struggling a little bit. But I'm not saying I actually want Hillary to be president. I'm just saying instead of Joe Biden, because if you've got Joe Biden, you've got Barack Obama. Some of you guys think that would be a good thing. You're finding out it ain't. Joe Biden reminds you exactly what the Obama years were like. You just forgot. So The Rock wants to be president.
Yeah, good shit. Little boy's dream.
I'd rather have Roman Reigns be president than Dwayne Johnson. For that matter, I'd much rather have Paul Heyman be president. I would absolutely vote for Paul Heyman to be president. Unless his opponent was Donald Trump. Then I would expect them to go to WrestleMania 39 and have a SmackDown and figure out who actually wins the title. Of course, then Vince McMahon would have to come in with his little penciled-in mustache and throw fire in somebody's face, which ought to be hilarious because you wouldn't be able to tell on Paul Heyman's flushed face, and Donald Trump's hair would probably go up like so much string confetti.
Wow.
Just saying. What else is happening? Sounds like joking out. Goodness. I'll be all right.
So apparently,
just choking on Dwayne Johnson wanting to be president.
Yeah.
Airball. Rock and roll. What do we got? Talk to me.
I am. If you would stop interrupting. Stop. Captain America 4.
Why?
Because apparently there is some major reshoots being made to it. Apparently it did not do good during the... It had negative test scores.
My reaction to seeing Sam Wilson as being Captain America is somewhere between Paul Rubin's performance in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and an amoeba drying out in the sun. Like, Listen, Falcon is a character of his own. He's the Falcon, okay? Bad enough they tried to make Bucky Captain America in the comics for a while. No, we want Captain America, okay? We don't want no wimpy Captain America that goes off searching for his true identity out in the American heartland. We want Captain America kicking the crap out of Hydra and smacking the bad guys around with the red glove pimp hand just...
Huh.
And for all the things Falcon can do, he's got too much bird poop on the back of his shoulders for me to ever consider him as having a pimp hand. So,
wow.
That takes care of that.
Okay.
So it's delayed to 2025. Good. Maybe by then Bob Iger will be gone and they can just write all that off as lost money, because didn't Warner Brothers just pull the plug on another movie project that was apparently done and ready to go? Did you hear anything about this? Because Warner Brothers Discovery was... The last one they did was Batgirl, and it actually finished production, went into post-production, was ready for release, and David Zaslav took one look and said, "Oh, no, you don't, not on my dime," and completely pulled it.
Well, I don't know if it's the right movie, but there is a movie that was taken off the market, which kind of saddens me.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Coyote versus Acme.
That's the one. Yeah,
was.
That one actually supposedly was actually in production because it was CGI, so it was an animated film, and it was in production, almost wrapped, and was ready for release, and they pulled the plug on that one.
Yeah,
because they wanted the tax write-off instead of the money from it.
I wanted to see it,
and there's quite a few people who wanted to see it. But the other problem, too, is that's what happens when you appeal to older audiences. The MBAs are just convinced your money's no good. Doesn't matter the fact that if you're over 40, statistically, you have more money, you have more disposable income, you have more time to watch things, and so you're actually a more desirable customer, but it doesn't matter. Nobody over the age of 40 cross-dresses except for RuPaul. And Johnny Depp, apparently. So,
well,
that's true. It's true. Well,
it just... I really wanted to watch it. I really did.
It's an interesting concept. The idea of Wile E. Coyote taking Acme to court because of their bad product designs and design flaws and stuff. And it's an interesting legal fiction, too, because how much of it is user error? Because when you see Wile E. climb up on these explosive devices, you're not supposed to climb up on an explosive device. Since when do you climb on top of a rocket? This is not Dr. Strangelove. This is Looney Tunes. This is the Acme Corporation. And forgive me if I'm right, but I believe John Cena was supposed to be Acme's attorney on this, which would have been utterly hilarious. But the only way
it's a shame.
The only way it could have been better is if Gilbert Gottfried was still around and he could have been Wile E. Coyote's attorney. That would have been epic. But no, wasn't to be. For that matter, you could have gotten pretty much every comedian from the last 60 years. You could have had your pick to come on and be voice talent on this movie, because every single one of them can point back to Wile E. Coyote for his exquisite timing, his superb reactions, and his little tiny signs that he would hold up because he wasn't allowed to talk.
Sure.
The Wile E. Coyote is the last of the great physical comedians. He was the last great slapstick comedian.
It would have been so fun. Oh, boy.
Things that could have been, would have been, ain't gonna be. So,
True.
what else we got, Chris?
All right, so there's been some rumors going around.
Rumors?
And all because of Variety.
Follow me every day.
Variety put
Just
out
need
this
some
article about...
Some time to get away. I love driving him nuts. It's such a short trip. Okay, Variety's reporting rumors.
Rumors that not Captain America, Iron Man and Black Widow would be, that Marvel's thinking about bringing them back into the picture to help with future use.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
Apparently those rumors are false. Feige reported saying that this is the first he's ever heard of this. That they are working on a movie with Scarlett Johansson, but that has nothing to do with Black Widow or anything like that. So, but yeah. So if you think, oh yeah, they're going to bring back Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson for any other Marvel movies, forget about it.
All right.
Forget about it.
3 things. First off, since when did they tell Kevin Feige anything? Even before this. Second, Kevin Feige's already lost his Star Wars project. That's been verified. So he was going to do a Star Wars movie. That's out the window. How much longer do you think it's going to be before Kevin Feige goes out the window after his Star Wars project? Because Kevin Feige is bought into Phase 4 and 5. That's his fault. So, of course he doesn't want the guys from Phase 3 back. Now, does Disney have enough cash to actually bring Johnny Depp back? I'm sure they could. Scarlett Johansson is... nobody really... There's like 4 horny pre-teenagers somewhere who'd be interested in Scarlett Johansson coming back as the Black Widow. Everybody else is waiting to see Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark again, where he should be. And if you really want to print money, have Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark taking on Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. There's all the money in the world right there. They're 2 fictional characters. Why not?
Where did you come from on this? Where did you come from on this?
Who owns Pirates of the Caribbean?
I know.
Shut up. Who owns Pirates of the Caribbean?
Disney, but this is not...
Who owns Iron Man?
Disney.
Money.
I don't want to see that, though.
Yes, you would. You would love to see that.
No, I don't.
Especially if Tony Stark gets dumped back in the mid-1800s and he doesn't have his Iron Man armor. And so he's trying to figure out how in the world he's supposed to get back to the 21st century. And he runs into Jack Sparrow and starts taking a ride on the Pirates of the Caribbean. And there's already 3 of these guys watching the show drooling over the idea of...
Oh, don't drool. Don't drool.
Of Jack Sparrow trying to help Tony Stark get back to the 21st century using whatever voodoo he do so well.
I apologize. Usually you have great ideas, but this one
They can't all be dinners, but anyway, I'm just saying if there's money to be made, the logical thing would be to make it.
They don't know how to make money.
I know they don't know how.
They're losing their money.
I agree, and you're absolutely right. We're actually on agreement on this. I'm just saying.
But anyway, yeah. In other, I guess, speaking of how like all the great Marvel characters that we did have, it has left the building a long time ago. That only leaves 2 people, which is usually Loki and, of course, Spider-Man. But yet Spider-Man came in at the tail end, so he doesn't really count. But yeah, he's pretty much out of the picture because he erased everybody's mind.
Yeah. He belongs to Sony too, which is why he erased everybody's mind on his way out the door. But again, not a Disney product, therefore it doesn't get any of that Disney schmutz on him.
Sure. But with the season 2 of Loki being out now, apparently Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki, said that he, after 14 years, he is no more. He is saying goodbye.
Bye-bye. Make sure the door hits you on the run on the way out.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure Hulk grabs you by the feet and smashes you into the marble a few dozen times on the way out the door.
Why is my throat kind of going? But yeah.
The most wonderful time of the year.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So what else you got? Pocket meat. What you talking about?
Well,
I'm not
going to say this guy.
He choked on it. Choking hard on it.
I apologize. I don't know what's happening with my throat.
I tell you what's happening with your throat. It's that most wonderful time of the year. It's the crazy cavalcade of viral infections, and it just starts. It's the old Kentucky crud. It starts about October 1st and runs through about September 30th.
I don't like it. Ugh.
But anyway, none of us do. So welcome to the life.
I apologize for the coughing in your ears.
I don't. I'm an unapologetic cougher.
All right.
I'm a coffee.
You're a dork. You are. Anyway.
Well,
speaking of dorks,
yes,
Jared Leto. Jared Leto, senior actor, best known for his worst Joker ever, has decided to climb the Empire State Building just to promote his band, 30 Seconds to Mars, upcoming tour. He said that it was always his dream to climb the Empire State Building. I guess his next project is King Kong.
Hear that noise?
What?
That's the sucking sound of all the interest disappearing out of this video.
Well,
wow,
it's
Leto.
News, man.
Jared
It's
Leto.
news. No. Not all news can be good. We know this, but this is
Jared
stupid.
Leto climbing. Fool, you played the Joker, not Spider-Man. Shut up. Moron. Now understand how jaded do you have to be that a dude becomes the first man to ever climb, verified, the Empire State Building from bottom to top, and everybody yawns. Like, so what? I'll tell you what, Jared Leto, if you really want to impress me, go climb the World Trade Center. That would be very impressive.
But
need Jacob's ladder to reach up there.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. We're banned.
Hey, remember I was telling you last week, telling you about our viewership numbers last week. Just a little bit of shop talk.
Yeah.
Our Rumble numbers last week, our Rumble numbers, okay? We weren't getting any viewers till about 2 months ago, and then we've been picking up a couple every week. We were up to 20 this past week, which doesn't sound impressive, but we've been doing this for basically 15, 20 people for the last 5 years, so it's impressing me. So we're up to 20, and actually it's probably gone north of 20 by now on Rumble. YouTube, week before, we had 16 viewers. The week I told you we were going to get squished by YouTube for talking the way we did, 4. That was as of yesterday. And we are recording on Sunday, November 12th, 2023. Happy Valentine's Day for those of you who missed it. And I'm a veteran, so I can go ahead and say, boy, I'm in a rare mood to be doing this video, ain't I?
Wow.
My blood sugar must be low or something. My leg's sore. That's what it is. It's driving me nuts. But anyway, what else we got? Anything?
All right. Anthony Daniels, you know him from, as you know, better known for CP3O. He is selling a bunch of his stuff. We're talking about scraps from Star Wars, pieces from the Millennium Falcon. He sold his helmet for, I forgot how much, but it was a lot.
All the stuff he managed to swipe off the lot.
Yes.
Back when he was active. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, Anthony Daniels. Well, why not? Anthony Daniels is how old by now?
I really don't know.
He's got to be in his 70s by now. I mean, he was in his he must have been in his 30s when he was doing the first Star Wars back in, what was it, 76, 77? So, I mean, now he's got to be like 40 years older, 45 years older. He's not going to be around too much longer. He'd rather take the cash and squirrel it away to his survivors and relatives and stuff. Or better yet, just spend it on Hookers and Blow, which is the official sponsor of Geekin Out.
I'm starting to realize that because you bring it up every episode.
Hookers and Blow. Wherever you go, Hookers and Blow. I'm going to heaven. Yes. We both are. Because I made the joke and you laughed at it.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Nope. Not that half of the religion. Yeah. Anything else, Chris?
Yes, we got one more news.
One more news. Let's wrap this.
Okay, listen. First of all, let me explain to you. Mm-hmm. As a movie nut, like myself.
He is a nut. Yeah.
Yes. This type of stuff excites me. I know a lot of you probably be like, who cares? But to me, this is exciting stuff. Apparently, VHS is making a comeback. Right? VHS is making a comeback.
What did I tell you? Go ahead and give your story and I'll give my side on
it. So mostly it's the horror genre of VHS movies that is making a huge comeback. Mm-hmm. New Line Home Video of Vice Press, who usually focuses on making tons of movie poster prints, are about to bring their own style of VHS of a certain movie, and you might like this one, Evil Dead 2.
I've never seen Evil Dead 2. I've seen about 10 minutes of Evil Dead 1, and I've seen Army of Darkness about 5,000 times.
Well, it is, the Bruce Campbell one, of course. I know some of you probably only seen the remakes, but yes. Yeah, it's coming to VHS. It will be their first two that they've done. But yeah, apparently they said that VHS is actually making a huge comeback. I am excited for this. And
you've been wanting a video store for years.
I do.
And VHS is not something you can do through the mail very easily because they are rather fragile. But let me explain my take on this. VHS, okay, here's the thing you got to understand. Mm-hmm. Mr. Rogers, didn't think I jumped to Mr. Rogers, did you?
I wasn't expecting that.
Do you want to know why you were able to record all those TV shows and movies on VHS back in the 80s?
Did Mr. Rogers create VHS?
Mr. Rogers did not create VHS. Mr. Rogers went to Congress and fought the entire television industry to allow for recording of broadcast television.
Oh!
Because up until then, the studios and on television and movies and all these other guys, they were just absolutely determined they were going to shoot VHS down because it was a copyright violation. It was, how would they ever make any money if everybody was just stealing their stuff off of TV? What in the world would they do? And Mr. Rogers had to go up and point out, there's a little something. Mr. Rogers actually coined the phrase time moving. Basically, he said time shifting is what it was. Sorry. Time shifting is where you record something when it originally airs, and then you can watch it later. Okay? That's what people do with DVRs now, but DVRs are all digital. Okay? Which means they are prime targets for digital rights management. Which means if you record something, I go through this with my Fernley TV app, $10 a month, best $10 I've spent. It's got a built-in DVR in the app, so I can record something, but there are certain things like MeTV, shame on you. And all the MeTV channels like Heroes and Icons and Movies and several of their others, if you don't record it before its air date, they will not let you go back and add it to your recordings. Every other channel does, but not the MeTV networks. So DRMs invite all this little movie studio and TV channel and TV network meddling. It's one of the things that's shooting next generation TV in the foot right now. It's called ATSC 3.0. It's supposed to be the new standard that allows white space. In other words, you'd have interactive broadcast television. You would actually be able to use your broadcast television to do web surfing and stuff, to interact with things you see on TV and maybe make purchases or have deliveries, stuff like that. I remember white space. I miss it so. Anyway, the point is, with DVRs and such and ATSC 3.0, everybody's so determined to lock down their content because, oh my gosh, what if it gets pirated? Mr. Rogers, back around 1980 or so, went to Congress and basically said, look, knock it off. He actually testified before, if I recall correctly, and I'm probably not. He went and testified at this and made an amicus brief. An amicus brief with the court, basically as an expert with insider knowledge to the Supreme Court, which was also considering the copyright issues. And so the Supreme Court shut down all the issues on it, and then Congress stepped in. Basically, the Supreme Court said, you have the right to fair use of broadcast television. If you could have received it, you can record it as long as you don't resell it. Which is why all these people trading tapes and stuff shouldn't be making any money off of it. As long as no money changes hand and they're not being enriched, then you can do that. It's basically the same as a private library. And that's also part of the reason why the Hollywood studios fought Blockbuster and then Redbox and then Netflix so hard, because they didn't want to, they wanted all the revenue for themselves. So like Blockbuster, back in the day, a VHS would cost you about $20-25 maybe for a relatively new movie. Blockbuster would have to pay like $95 in 1980s money to put it out there. And all the video rental places had to do that. They had to buy the more expensive one to make up for the revenue lost from having it out there for rental instead of for sale. So I think that would be a major appeal of the VHS, because VHS being physical media, it's a lot harder to control. Because not only is the technology more archaic and harder to figure out for them to screw with, because I remember Macrovision too. You can't have DRM on a VHS. Problem is, the legal precedents have been established and the laws have been passed allowing fair use for VHS, but they haven't really been applied equally to DVD, DVRs, streaming, stuff like that, and digital. So, I keep telling you, buy the physical media while you can. Because I actually saw Blazing Saddles on DVD not that long ago in one of the stores. Grab it while you can, because if Warner Brothers Discovery decides that they want to change Blazing Saddles because it's just too offensive, you're never going to see the movie as was originally intended. And if you doubt me, go ask Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear over at Song of the South. You'd like watching that if you didn't get it on video in 1980 something or other. Well, that was a lengthy rant, but actually we'll do an abbreviated episode this time because neither one of us are feeling really that hot right now. But
I know. I don't know what it is, but I just feel so off today. Like I just feel, yeah.
It's the weather's been swinging back and forth. We've been getting hot weather, cold weather, hot weather, cold weather. It's never something. it's our average temperature in this area this time of year goes from like the 70s down to the 60s, down to the 50s, and then we hit December, it gets down into the 40s. And for us, it's going like 80, 40, 80, 30, 85, 25, 80, 30. And it just keeps jumping up and down like it's a Defender game or something. So
Yeah, Kentucky weather's bipolar.
yeah, Kentucky weather is just full of bipolar, and by golly, I know where I'd put its polars. All right. Anyway, any final thoughts before we wrap this, Chris?
No, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Well, till next time, boys and girls, y'all be careful, be nice, and till then, I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
And we'll see you all next time on Geekin Out.
Yeah.